Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. We're at Interop New York 2010. On our program today is Ray Zuckerman, the CEO of serverLIFT. Ray, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about serverLIFT.
Well, serverLIFT is a lifting device that's specifically and uniquely designed for the data center. It's sturdy, easy to use, very intuitive, goes down even the narrowest aisles, and it's just the one product that people thank you for when they buy. It's incredible, just incredible.
And what's the width of the product when you say it goes down the aisles?
It's 24 inches wide.
Okay, that's not bad.
And it loads from the side, so it's very, very easy to position in front of the rack. It's got very large wheels. It's designed to work on tile floors. It's got a very, very sturdy braking and locking system so that as you move the server into the rack from the serverLIFT, it's very, very easy. It shifts sideways into the rack. Very, very easy to use. And we're just excited to be able to put out a product that people are grateful for.
And you spent years designing it, you said, right?
That's correct. We spent 2 years designing and researching the market needs of it, including working with some of the Fortune 500 companies as to what their needs were. It's the only product that was built from the ground up, designed strictly for the data center.
So what made you do it? What made you design
it? We sensed the need. There were people that were asking for it. People wanted a way to handle heavy equipment, switches, uninterruptible power supplies, larger servers, and we're seeing that servers are getting heavier all the time. We'll see Cisco switches up at 450 pounds. A blade server chassis alone can weigh 450 pounds. And the serverLIFT is designed to handle 500 pounds without bending significantly, so you can line things up and do things properly in the data center without hurting anybody and without dropping your equipment.
So traditional customers, one would imagine, would be the large enterprises, e-commerce sites, service provider, carrier type companies, cable companies, right?
Absolutely. Anybody probably with more than 3,000 square feet of data center space should have a serverLIFT.
So and that would include probably private data centers as well.
Our research shows that there are about 40,000 companies between the US and Canada alone that should have a serverLIFT. And some of them have multiple locations.
Wow, and probably growing just because of this the whole trend towards cloud has, if anything, it's going to and will continue to consolidate servers in single locations, it seems like. And so as that happens, that seems like an opportunity as well to get into those cloud vendors.
Very much so. As a matter of fact, we're starting to see a lot more international business. We're currently in over a dozen countries around the world, including the Far East, unbelievably, where you think labor was very, very cheap, and yet we are in Singapore, we're in China, we're in Hong Kong.
So Ray, let me see if I understand. When you said labor is cheap, and so you kind of inferred that labor cost is the competition. To me, I'm sensing that the insurance ramifications and workers' compensation and just the injuries that result in not using your product would be a significant reason to purchase as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Our very first customer waited 6 months for their unit because they had an injury on site and they wanted to do everything they could in order to show that they were acting to resolve that problem. We get worried because we do have a significant number of people who have purchased a serverLIFT after the barn door was closed,
right,
so to speak.
Sure, makes sense. But people realize they have a problem. I mean, it's usually you go and buy insurance after you've had a robbery, or you put an alarm system in after you've been robbed. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way people work.
And that's why we're seeing a lot more growth in worldwide sales, because the awareness, is great as it is in the United States, is even greater worldwide. And people want to protect their employees. They don't want the stigma of these types of injuries. And also, they don't want to drop the equipment.
Of course. You don't want to drop it. One would imagine a 400-pound Cisco router is not cheap.
Some of these things are hundreds of thousands of dollars. At this show, a unit was dropped that cost $100,000 and was damaged.
Wow. Yeah, so that you obviously don't want that to happen. Now, from a selfish perspective, I'm wondering, is there a way that I can convince you to donate some of your product to airlines? Because the $50 fees are driving me crazy. Is there a portable one I can take with me to help the airlines so they don't charge me? I think I pay a few $100,000 a year just in $50 fees to the airlines.
That is frustrating to all of us, I think.
So, what's next for the company?
Well, we have a whole series of products coming out that will change the weight capacity, both lighter and heavier, for various side data centers. We find that people who have a serverLIFT would like something that's a bit more portable and cost-effective for their satellite centers. Even though it doesn't seem to be a high utilization product, they really want that facility for their people. They want to take care of their people.
Sure. Well, I would imagine another issue would be, or another area for you would be finding the movers of data centers, people who help with the moving of data centers. They should have your product as well to help a migration of a data center.
That's absolutely correct, and we see that often. Sometimes small companies who do moving on a regular basis, sometimes larger companies, like the actual moving companies themselves, have got into the business of moving data centers, and they have an interest in our product because they want to make these facilities comfortable and easy for their employees.
Of course. So thanks for being on the program today, and good luck.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
Yeah.